Hey guys, just a quick reminder that you can check us out on Reddit r/SplitView Podcast or on Discord. Link is on YouTube. And we're also on Apple Podcast and Spotify and also YouTube. Okay, thanks. Bye. Welcome to Split View, everyone. I almost said Flick View, but this is Split View indeed.
Oh, Split View, my favorite show.
Have we said that before?
Probably.
Okay.
But hi everyone, welcome to Split View. I'm
You're gonna
Geordie.
just do the intro again, like mine's meaningless or something?
No, I was continuing on
What
with
the
the joke. I
fuck,
said,
dude?
hey everyone, welcome to Split View.
You just redid the intro. Like
my
you're
name
like,
is Geordie. With me is Tom. And we are going to talk in your ears for an hour now, if that's
Yeah.
okay by you.
now with new and improved EQ, because the other one irked me on a personal level because I don't like deep EQs.
I've heard us. We sound pretty good, man. You did a
Yeah,
good job.
thanks.
Sounds fucking good.
I didn't spend like 5 hours trying to line up Geordie's voice to mine sonically, because Geordie's voice is very strange.
My voice is very strange,
Yeah.
and I apologize for that. And I'll just speak like this. Actually, that'll just ruin the whole thing. I'll just speak normally.
You just sound like an idiot. It's not going to ruin everything.
I sound like an idiot anyway, Tom.
Okay, cool.
That's not hard for that to happen.
Geordie, mandatory, what have we been watching this week? Or what have we watched this week?
I haven't actually watched anything interesting. I rewatched the entirety of Brooklyn Nine-Nine since
You
the
watch
last
time
time I
go
saw
by
it.
as the world slowly decays?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
What is the appeal of Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Because I could never get into that.
It's the same reason why you don't like Friends, really. It's basically the same show.
Yeah.
They all are exactly the same show, pretty much. Cut and paste.
Is that going to offend people, you saying that?
Absolutely, it will. But I mean, if you maybe not Friends and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but if you compare Friends and How I Met Your Mother, they are the same show.
I've never watched a single episode of How I Met Your Mother, so...
Yeah, they literally have the same characters.
Okay.
There is one guy who's like the sex guy.
You're shaking the table, by the way.
Sorry, I just realized that.
Yeah.
There's the sex guy, which is Joey or Barney in this case. There's
Like the dinosaur?
huh?
The dinosaur?
Yeah, like the dinosaur,
Okay,
or
cool.
like Neil Patrick Harris in this case.
Alrighty.
Every single character is exactly the same in both shows. There is a character which has the same, what is it, like cliche in every single show.
Bit of a ladies' man, which is particularly ironic for Neil Patrick Harris's
Yeah,
case.
so I always wondered if he felt so like unbelievably uncomfortable filming that show.
I would find it hilarious. Like, you're
well-
portrayed as this ladies' man, like, sex god kind of guy, and it's like, yeah, I just kind of prefer dudes.
Yeah,
I think that was the funniest shit ever.
you'd feel good if you were one of the girls, right? Because he's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
If you get to smooch one up with him, that's pretty good, you know.
That's just what
Because
acting
they have to.
entails.
No, I know.
It's kind of like an
But
intrapersonal
I did wonder
thing.
whether like he would feel uncomfortable about kissing so many ladies.
I mean, that, again, it's acting. Like, you don't...
Yeah, that's true.
Just kissing anyone while acting, it's just... I don't know, it's just kind of this hurdle you have to get through. It's like
Yeah.
how porn actresses and actors have, like, husbands and wives and all that. So, you know, well,
You
partners.
you
What?
can't tell me that porn actresses' husbands aren't a little bit jealous.
I hear a lot of, like, they find their partners in the industry, so they're already, like, they're in the porn game, as it were. But there are interviews from these people. There are Netflix documentaries about this. And
Yeah, but there's
what are you implying, Geordie?
There's
That
got to be some part of you that would hate
you
your
implying
wife
that
going to get absolutely slammed every single day.
implying that perhaps maybe these husbandos have like cuckoldry fetishes or something?
Actually, I wasn't. I was just kind of like thinking they'd probably be a little bit sad, you know.
I think
when
we
she
talked about this
I'm
as
off to
well."
work now, honey, and then she leaves, and then you're just like at home watching Netflix while you know your wife is getting absolutely fucking reamed.
I mean, there's
You know what I mean?
you know what's happening. Like, you signed up to this.
You
like,
did sign up for it, yeah. But
Yeah.
it just reminds me of that one guy. You remember when I forced you to watch that episode of that show where they sent the neckbeard? Oh,
That
no,
was just sad. That was too real.
you
Like,
remember the husband in that situation? That's what I imagine every person.
I feel like I know people like that, and it just made me sad watching it.
Yeah, it's so fucking depressing, but
Yeah.
you can't turn away from that show.
Just how, like, wholesome his friends were, like, so understanding. Like,
Yeah.
that one lady was just like, we understand Ed, or whatever his name was.
His name was Tom.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not dwell too much on porn on this episode.
Okay. I just picked up a can of drink, right? Have you ever in your life watched a YouTube video from like a beer review kind of channel, like a beer review or
Nah.
food or liquid review kind of channel?
No, I don't subscribe to many liquid review channels.
Well,
But-
like it's not even necessarily that. Like, there's the cliche of like the podcast of like a bunch of drunk dudes, you know, just like I think one of them's called like the Bear Hour or something like that. Which
Yeah,
totally
that
does.
sounds pretty.
Every single beverage or like alcohol orientated YouTube or podcast always starts out that content with a pouring sound, like a drink
Well,
pouring
that
sound.
is the entirety of their appeal, is the fact that
that
they
not-
are intoxicated or that they are...
every single show always starts it out with that pouring effect. That's like
Here's what I'll
it
say.
annoys the fuck out of me because it's always the same exact sound effect.
Here's what I'll say about all these types of like food reviews and all that shit.
Yeah.
Is that like you can tell me what you think it tastes like, but in the end, I'm not going to know until I taste it.
Well, that's the point of a review. Is you're supposed to be unbiased. Like you're supposed to, like parametrically and objectively judge whether the food is good on a quality standpoint. But people watch food reviews to see if they like it, which is odd.
It
Like,
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because it's what's an example? Like when some guy says, "Oh yes, this beer has hints of maple. I can tell it was
Yeah.
brewed in a whatever." But I'm like, bro, it tastes like fucking beer.
fruity aromas of this.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you,
this
dude. I
ailment.
wonder if these, like, sommelier, is that how you say it? The wine connoisseurs, if they even know what the difference is.
I think
Because,
it's been proved a couple of times that it's like you can just hand them like a $20 bottle of wine from America and then just like, oh, this is such delicate taste and all that.
you could have such a bouquet of fine berries and all that shit. It's
I
like,
think they
bro,
say
fuck you,
bouquet.
it's wine.
Such a bouquet of fruity aromas and delicate eloquencies of the taste profile. That
It's the
kind of
same
like
word, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
They
don't
say-
understand it.
they're the most like snooty fancy people in the world, like because they just get paid to like drink alcohol.
I can understand a game review or a movie review because I'm having the same experience as you. Because
Yeah.
when I drink a beer, I just taste beer. I'm not like, if I'm drinking beer, it's because I'm trying to get drunk.
Well,
It's not because I'm having
Yeah.
a fine tasting experience.
Games are tailored experiences and movies are tailored experiences. So
Yeah.
like you can review what the director wants you to feel, you know.
Exactly.
Whereas food, it's mostly nutritional and it's very preferential. I mean, games are preferential, but you can, like, the only thing you can review about food is whether it was cooked properly and whether, like, the
Yeah.
foods objectively do go together, which is something you can,
And if
you know,
it is
measure.
a case of that it's cooked incorrectly,
Yeah.
the chances that you will recreate it to the exact same
Yeah.
point that they did is
And
infinitesimal.
the thing with games is that you're going to get the same game as somewhere else.
Exactly.
Whereas food, like, it depends on whether, like, the fucking, the teenage chef had a good day at school that day, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's very, I don't know.
I think
odd.
there might be one exception to this.
What?
Which is all those dudes who review food in their car because they're just going to get Big Macs and eating them,
even
they're
with
cut and
that,
dry the
yeah.
exact same
But
thing. I would think.
I watch food review or review bro or whatever, like the dude who wears suits and he's like food review. They're very like, I watch these food reviewers. I only watch like two, but for their personality more than the food. Like I don't give a shit what the fuck American food
Yeah.
they're eating. They're just funny people and like intriguing people, and I watch them for that. It's kind of this weird transformation over time from like, you know, food column in the newspaper reviews to, hey, let's watch this entertaining YouTube reviewer
Sit in
because
his
they're
car.
funny. Yeah. Like, isn't that weird that that's kind of been like
It's
transformed?
funny that like that is almost the standard if you're going to do food reviews is in your car.
Yeah, because it's easy. And
Yeah.
I mean, the food's in better quality because you've just gotten it.
That's true, yeah. I remember I used to watch Dame Drops when I was a young
Oh, yeah.
boy.
Actually, I think iDubbbz like criticized him at one
Yeah,
point
he
because he
did.
took pickles off the burger and is like, I don't fuck with no pickles.
He doesn't eat any vegetables, so he
Then
just like
why is he reviewing food?
I
if
don't
he
know.
doesn't like it.
he
Or-
was just funny. That's the reason why
yeah,
people
exactly.
watched him.
It's
Exactly,
literally
so.
about the personality more
Yeah.
than the actual review, which is odd. I was looking up some things, right? Because I look up things,
Okay,
just
should I be
in
worried?
general.
Yeah.
and like for this, I had a hard time finding like things to talk about this episode,
that's
mostly because
cool.
nothing interesting happened in my life this week, aside from like tech stuff and guitar stuff and me getting fucking audio and all that. But I was looking up news sites and all that because I was like, oh, I want to look up this topic I thought about. Let me go to a news site to review it. Fucking news sites, they suck dick. News sites just suck dick. Tell me in your words what is wrong with news sites, or like what do you hate about news sites?
Well, there's always an inherent bias depending on who you look at.
Yeah.
There is never someone who is reporting a story because of what it is. It's just like... What?
You're talking about like the actual proper journalistic issues, whereas I'm literally Okay, no, that's all good. You have very good, like, that is the correct thing that's wrong with news sites.
Yeah.
But I'm complaining that they fucking autoplay videos, and you're like, oh, yeah, actually, the political bias and the information being portrayed, and I'm like,
fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I mean, that is true. They're made by boomers, those websites.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's
who are
like
they
it's like
made
going
for?
on fucking MySpace when you were in like 2005.
Yeah,
and
crawling in.
yeah, Linkin Park would play as soon as you went on someone's profile. It's like, no one wants to hear that shit, man.
The background is a repeating GIF of fire or something, and then in word art, it's like
one FPS
Jason's
file.
website. Welcome to the cum zone, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too ironic for that to have been a thing back then.
I love fake websites like that. Like, do you know what Angel Fire is?
No.
Angel Fire was like where you could host websites and all that. You can create 8 websites on Angel Fire, so it'd be like Geordie's website .angelfire.com, and Angel Fire was out around the 2000s, and those MSN like pages you're thinking of, Angel Fire was like that but times a billion, because you could just do whatever. Like, it was entirely just GIFs and loud sounds and like scrolling text, flashing images and all that. And there are fake Angel Fire websites which you can view, which are the most fucking amazing things.
I have about, I'm sure, at least 5 to 10 Weebly websites.
What about Bebo, dude? Oh my god, Weebly. That's what I was thinking of. I was trying to make a comparison of Angel Fire to something else. I was like, what's that one website you use? But I didn't say anything.
Weebly.
Man, that was like grade 9 stack shit, wasn't it?
Fuck yeah, dude.
What fuck websites did we make?
We had one for our clan at the time, I remember.
Do you remember how Do you remember how I just knew the password for that? And no one told me what it was? I just happened to know the password?
Probably because I used the same password for everything at the time.
I didn't even remember what the password was. I just knew it, and I don't remember how I got it, but I just had it.
Well, fair enough. You hacked me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I get it.
Okay, so these news sites, right? I want to explain to you what's wrong with these news sites on a UX kind of level, user experience, as the cool kids would say. You have GUI, graphical user interface, UI, user interface, and you have UX, user experience.
Oh, I see.
Which one of those do you think is the most important?
I would say UX.
Absolutely, because your website can look like shit, but as long as you can use it and get the right information, you're golden.
Reddit.
Yeah, I mean,
4chan.
I guess whatever. Yeah. So when I go to a news website, what do you think happens? What are the first like things that I want to do when I view a news website?
Read the article.
Yes. Do I want to read the same exact headline 3 times, just rewritten in different ways?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Do you?
I know
do
what
you
you
understand?
mean. I know
Like,
exactly
why?
what you mean.
Why?
Like, they have to do the...
They have like a minimum word count. They literally like... Okay, here's the story, right? Story is, man falls over, dog possibly tripped him. The headline will be, man fall over, was it the dog?
Yeah.
The sub-headline will be like, today in such and such, a man fell over, and maybe the dog was held accountable.
Yeah.
And then in the description, a longer paragraph that says, oh, it was one summer day and all that, and then a man by the name of such and such was tripped over, which is where you'll get tripped over.
By
and
Fluffernutter.
Yeah, and he owns a dog called Fluffernutter and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they literally write the same exact thing 3 times.
It's kind of like when I used to write assessments when I was in grade 6. You're just kind of bullshitting along the way for
I like
extra
how
words.
you said that, assessments.
Yeah.
Like eubonic kind of thing.
Well, when I would do them, I would think I was hot shit because I could always just get the word count way quicker than everyone else.
Fluff out your meanings and all that.
Exactly, because
Blood
if
a
you-
thesaurus.
Yeah. Well, I never need a thesaurus. I use my big, soggy, wet brain for that.
Okay. That's not even false.
I know. That's why I kind of thought about it the other day, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's such a disgusting comeback because of my fucking soft, wet brain.
Your brain is like jelly-like as well. You can poke it and it like jiggles a bit.
Fucking disgusts
So,
me, brains.
In school, our teacher brought in like a pig brain and just for us to all show him pig hearts. And
oh
that,
my God.
Like, scarred me.
I this was while we were at the same school.
Yeah.
There was one day when we had to dissect a rat or a frog. I can't remember. And
I remember that.
I had to go home early because I vommed. Because that shit made me so fucking want to barf, man.
I was like the surgeon. You know how like you're in a group
Yeah.
of 3 and like one person is cutting open, one person's labeling, so the other person's reading. I was like, no one else. I was in a group with like a girl and a guy and me, and like no one else wanted to do it. And I was like, guys, I'm kind of squeamish in this, and I ended up having to like.
Yeah, fuck
the
that.
shit.
I don't know why they make kids do this.
That's weird in America.
You can
Like
just
they're
show us
supposed
a
to.
picture.
Yeah,
like we
you gotta
don't
really
need
feel
to
the
do
guts.
It.
You gotta feel the information of the
Literally,
biology.
why do we actually have to do it?
Okay, back to news sites.
Okay,
I guess.
alright.
So they autoplay videos, right?
Yeah.
Fucking sucks. I would never want a video to autoplay. Like literally in the Chrome guidelines of web design, autoplaying videos is like bad UX. You don't want to do that. That's a bad
Yeah.
idea. And Chrome actually makes it so that videos will not autoplay. You have to specifically script it for videos to autoplay. Like that's a hack that they do. And so these videos that autoplaying, what quality are those, Jordy? Do you want your high quality videos to be playing where you can perfectly understand what the fuck is happening?
Nah,
or
you
do you
want
want
that
64?
144.
Yeah, like 140p, 64 kilobit per second,
Yeah.
loud as fuck audience noise being like, oh, so today we're so... Like, what the fuck? I don't want these playing. Why even have a video if you just... I guess it's just loud so that old people can understand it, but news sites just fucking suck. Oh, and pop-ups as well.
Well, here's the thing with like,
Yeah.
if you said if it's for old people, but I feel like they'd hate that too. They probably just want to read it.
Who is this for? Who is honest? Like, who the fuck is news sites targeted for? Because they suck.
And they always have shitloads of ads that follow you the
Yeah.
whole way down the page, which I find so annoying.
They have pop-up ads.
Or they have to, or you have to turn off your fucking ad block, or
Yeah.
enable cookies or something, or disable them or whatever.
I like how there's now ad block for ad block. Do you know what I mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
you'll use ad block to get rid of ads, and they're like, oh wait, people aren't seeing our ads. Let's create a thing that makes you turn off ad block, and now you can get ad block.
Yeah.
You can get like a thing that'll get rid of the blocking thing saying you need to turn off ad block, and I'm guessing it's going to go one step further from there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you can get radar detectors.
Yeah.
But they have fucking ad pop-ups, right? You go to a new site and it's like, oh, buy a subscription, buy this thing, sign up to get this and this.
Yeah.
Are they making money from this? Are they?
I doubt it.
I just don't get it.
They need CPM, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who would click on them unless it's by accident.
Like, Google fucking scrapes the headlines for you. You don't need this.
Yeah.
Like, you go to the news section on Google and it literally just highlights all the important information. You don't even need to click on the website. Like, fucking sucks. Speaking of bad fucking UX design, what big as fuck company do you think has a bad website?
Well, Reddit and 4chan, I said.
Would you believe fucking Apple have a bad UX on their website?
I mean, their website is supposed to just be edgy, and I don't think they care.
Is it though?
I think the whole point is it's this is the Apple experience you're having right now.
Yeah, like it's Apple's
And it's going to be slow.
It's
but
Apple's
you're
experience.
You're going to pay for it.
They want you to experience it the Apple way. So
Yeah.
they will do everything in their power to make you experience it in the way they want you to experience it. I go to Apple's website because I'm looking up, one of my topics is to do with Apple. So I go to their website to get some references and prices and all that. You can't scroll on Apple's website by yourself. You have to be handheld. If you scroll down, it stops you. It's like, no, look at this. Look at this animation.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
And you scroll down, the phone moves and rotates.
Yeah.
It doesn't let you scroll past that. You have to,
Yeah.
delicately be handheld until the entire thing stops, and then you can scroll.
Yeah.
If you scroll back up, you fucking reset. You gotta watch that shit again.
That's what you want to look at, dude.
That's
You
not
want to see
good.
the new iPhone, dude. You
It's
want it.
not, that's my user input, and it's disregarding and disabling my input.
Yeah, they
That's
really
bad.
are kind of just fucking... It's really surprising that everyone knows that they overpay and they overcharge, but it's still... I'm going to get the next iPhone, you know what I mean? And I know this.
I know. I know.
I don't
Why-
understand
want
how I am self-aware of the fact that I'm buying into something that is almost identical as the one before it,
We're going
and
to
I
talk
still
about
want
this.
it.
We're going to talk about... I have some things about Apple, and I'm going to ask you why you want to buy that. So
Yeah,
if you want to
okay.
start preparing why you want to buy that
All right,
iPhone
I'll do
and all
that.
Not that I'm shitting on you. I would buy an iPhone if it had what I want because it's a nice phone.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's nice quality and all that, and infinite support. Since what are you doing?
Nothing, I just lent on one of the cables.
You can crack it in my ear.
Yeah.
Draw these fucking things up. Okay,
Rocking
so
a table, doing all that shit.
let's talk about Apple now.
Let's talk about it.
What has Apple done recently that is bad? Or what are they going to do? Besides the ARM thing.
Yeah, they're going to ship the next phone without anything except the phone in the box.
Just the phone, and do you know what the fuck they do include in the box? That half fucking encyclopedia paper of warnings and shit that no one reads.
Yeah.
That's a bit fucking hypocritical, do you think?
Well, you can recycle that. Here's what I
Are
think.
you going to, though? Are you not just going to chuck it away? You can recycle AirPods, you
Well,
can
if I'm
recycle
gonna
the
chuck
charger.
it away, I'm going to chuck it in the bin.
You can recycle
recycle
anything if you want to. You can recycle
Well,
anything.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, though. I actually am in the camp. I think this is a good thing that they're doing it.
I am for and against it.
Because mostly because I watched Mark Ass Brownlee's video on it. Did you watch that?
No.
Okay, so what he said was like he made a he did some research, and it turns out that if they were to do this,
Yeah.
from just the chargers that people don't use and headphones that people don't use alone, it's 300,000 tons of e-waste a year.
Yeah.
For every single release. Most people have iPhone chargers. I'm willing to bet there's some even in this house.
That's
I'm
that's
certain
fine.
you'll have one
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, absolutely. That's fine. I like that they're getting rid of e-waste. I want them to get rid of everything and not being fucking hypocritical over this. Headphones. People are going to use headphones. Headphones break really fucking easily.
Yeah,
that part is weird. Do you know what's the weirdest and shittiest part? They're not reducing the price.
That was
They're
what I was
not
gonna
reducing
get to.
the price.
That's a bit dirty of them.
So that's what completely fucking destroys this entire thing for me. That's what destroys their argument of it's for e-waste. Because that's just think of so
just greed.
I had a look. I went to the Apple's website. How much do you think you'd have to pay for a new charger and cable from Apple?
$60.
About 75, yeah. $75 because you can't buy them together. You have to buy the cable. You have to buy USB-C to Lightning cable, which is 55, and then Power Brick, which is like 25, 30. So
And
That's
I mean,
the thing,
in
they don't sell
reality,
it.
it's also not worth that for either of those.
I looked up JB Hi-Fi and all that. Power Brick and charger cable, right, on JB Hi-Fi. How much do you think that is?
20.
$50.
What?
Cheapest one I found is 45, so about $50, and that 45 one was shitty. Go to Woolies. How much do you think it is to buy a cable and charger?
I don't know now,
It's around like $30-$45.
but I'm guessing it's shit.
This stuff is so expensive. The only way you can get a cheap deal is if you use eBay or you already have the cables.
We're saying like all these ones are shit, but the iPhone chargers themselves are also shit
They're only like 5 watts.
because they refuse to change the USB-C like a normal person.
They include a USB-C charger in the box and give you a USB-C to Lightning cable. They're just flexing like, oh yeah, we have everything. We have the ports. The port that is in that charger would fit inside the phone.
Yeah.
I
Fuck
drink
you, though.
like
Charge your phone really slowly.
literally, yeah. And they only include like I think they just now include like a 10 watt with the iPhone 11, but the iPhone can source up to like 25 watts or something or 18 watts depending on like the USB specification or PD or whatever or quick charge. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, I don't understand why they would keep the. Has that been confirmed though? I heard that it was like they don't know what the price is going to be.
Well,
like
it's from one of those tippers, and why like
leakers. Yeah.
would you be surprised if Apple didn't like lower the
and
price?
I think that's the problem. That I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised
their
because
price is their identity. They're an expensive phone brand.
yeah. That being said, though, from what I've seen from their recent phones, they've gone down, which isn't saying much because they're already ridiculously expensive. But they've gone down from what they used to be. Like I believe in America, they went from usually being 1,000 to 799
But
from
even
the
then,
latest phones, and that's not for the Pro. That's for the 11 or whatever.
importing it into Australia, like it's
Still going to
yeah.
be fucked for us, of course.
iPhone
but-
SE is like $750.
Yeah, it's
That's
quite
a cheap phone.
It's a cheap phone, and I can't imagine it was anywhere close to that to be made. Like
You can get a kick-ass Android for like $300.
yeah, you can get a more than kick-ass Android for
Yeah.
750.
You can get the new OnePlus Nord, which is like 400, 500, and it has like a sweet camera system, like
Yeah.
fingerprint, 90 hertz display. I think. Like,
See, at the end of the day, the reason why people are willing to spend that much money on it is because it's Apple.
because your name is blue when you text people.
Yeah, or that. And
Really?
just, I mean, it's the same reason why why people want expensive cars or anything like that. It's not necessarily that it does anything different.
But when
it does. It goes a little bit faster, I suppose.
When you start having negative experiences with a product that you pay like money for, like a lot of money for, is it worth it then? Should you keep buying it even though you're having negative experiences? They are just now adding widgets, and only for approved developers as well.
Yeah.
Like,
think of it this way. Like, we look at it from people who have always tried to use the most out of our phones for as long as we've had them. A lot of people, like, I always recommend iPhones to people who are older because they are so much more simple.
Androids are getting really simple nowadays. Like,
they are getting simple.
My dad has an Android, and he's like, doesn't know fuck all about technology, and they are simple now. Like, they have larger fonts, like the default launchers they come with, budget phones now are being tailored towards the elderly.
Yeah,
you know.
I think it's just kind of like it's a bit of a nicer experience for an older person using them.
Obviously,
and it ultimately and it's not just that, obviously, because there's every single young person I knew when I was growing up wanted the iPod or the iPhone or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just old people that they're catering to, and I think that's why they're doing so fucking well.
Yeah.
Because every single person I remember one of my teachers telling me when the iPhone 6 or whatever was coming out that he couldn't wait to go out and buy it, and he was going to go out the next day, and he was the assistant principal. He was telling me about it. Like, it's kind of amazing to me how they've captured just about every age group, because there's something that appeals to them.
I think
in
it's
each
like,
one, and that's why people are willing to pay for it.
I think it's a pseudo monopoly. Like, they have such like a. It's weird though. Like, realistically, there's not much holding people back from switching from an iPhone to an Android. Like,
well, there is something.
What is that?
And you're gonna love this word. It's the Apple environment.
The walled garden, the enclave.
All these types of words where it's like, well, once you've done that, then you buy the Mac, and then all of a sudden you can answer your texts from your Mac.
You can do that on Windows now.
I know you can, but like you've already got. Then it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll get an iPad as well then, because then I can connect it all together and all that sort of stuff. And you go, well, I don't want to get this Amazon Fire Stick. Well, I've got everything else Apple. I might as well get the Apple TV.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a new personal computer, so I'll get the Mac. And then everything's connected, and then all of a sudden you can't get an Android anymore or a different TV, because then you've wasted close to, what is that, $15,000 worth of products.
I get that. Like, even then, like, these products, they do work with Androids. Like, you can do like Play or whatever the fuck to an Apple TV. Like, you can cast that. There are third-party apps even if you don't support that, and you can do the Windows Phone experience thing. Maybe it works on Mac. I don't think it does though. But every year, Apple adds more features from Android, and then likewise happens. Android adds features from Apple, and the differences between them get slimmer and slimmer to a point where, like, right now, there is not much difference between the two. Like, you can swap, and
I think it comes down to aesthetics at this point, depending on what you really want.
Android is looking real fucking nice nowadays. Like, compare it to 5 years ago where it looked like fucking dog shit.
Yeah,
I'm shocked by like looking at pictures of Android phones 5 years ago and how fucking shit they looked, like, interface wise.
I still like, this is mainly the reason why I want to change my phone to the next iPhone that comes out, because I prefer that interface better than this one. And it's kind of, and I use it so much of every day. I use it for work and all that shit.
I'm just typing in Android 2011.
God damn, that's
it looks
shit
like
right
shit. There. But I'm going to type in iOS 2011. It looks beautiful. Like, iOS have always had the most beautiful interface.
They do.
I think
like,
that for a fact.
And they really.
This still looks like it looks.
Yeah. If you had a different background, that'd be fine. That's just a shit background, I think. Shit wallpaper.
The thing that Apple does best is consistency in their visual style, connectivity wise.
Exactly.
Like, Apple are very consistent. So much so that they can take a phone from 10 years ago and, like, basically do nothing to it, and then it would, like, do you know what? I said that weirdly, but basically, if you look at iPhones between 2010 and 2020, not much has changed.
No, there's certainly not any drastic leaps in between them.
I mean, there are little things like, custom keyboards, like the camera packages being upgraded and all that. Like, you can do more things on iPads now, but
it's never necessarily surface level when it happens.
They are so consistent that they update things very slowly. So
yeah, I mean, like, iOS is exactly the same. Like, they're almost like that is what their intention was from day one when they released
Yeah.
the first iPhone. Was we've got something good here, which they did.
Yeah.
They had the very first, sort of revolutionary phone at that time, I'll say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. dude.
And then they
first
were like-
iPhone was fucking incredible. How
Yeah.
much it advanced the industry.
And they were like, we've got this great thing. We're not going to wreck it. Let's
Yeah.
just ever so slowly change it. And iOS has ever so slightly changed over the years too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just more refined, but it's still... The icons are almost exactly the same as they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Some of them are
Yeah.
identical. It's just because you know it.
Yeah.
You know it from when you had that
That's-
iPhone 2 or
That's
whatever.
one big thing for like elderly and like consistent users is that you don't have to learn much to get the new iOS update. Like when the iPhone 10 came out and changed like the design language of it, like there's no home button, there's no fingerprint reader anymore. People were fucking angry about that, and
I
sure
fucking love that phone, dude.
It's a good phone,
I had
yeah.
one of them, but I gave it to my girlfriend so that I could get the S10 Plus, and I regret it, man. I do. Like
Okay.
that is a nice looking phone, if you ask me.
What do you find bad about your current phone, which is a S10 Plus?
I think mostly
Because I don't think you'll have much, but it's just the allure of the new iPhone is very nice, isn't it?
it
Yeah.
is pretty much that. Because I've watched a lot of those leak videos to see what it's going to probably maybe look like based on the leaks,
Yeah.
and it's going back now to what the
How many
original
cameras is it going to have? Do we know?
4, I think. And yeah, so why am I changing?
Yeah.
The one that I have now, as I've mentioned to you, kind of feels like it's dying on me already.
Okay.
And I do use my phone a lot. Like, it is...
Done yourself a factory reset?
No, not yet. I need to do that, I know.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily helping myself either, but I don't know, this phone burns the fuck up. And I know that any phone's really going to do that if you use it as much as me, because I use it...
iPhones have such great battery life.
Yeah.
Jody. They don't at all sell a $200 battery case directly addressing and like accepting that they have a problem with battery life.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up? I'm going to derail you for a second.
No,
but
go for it, dude.
Apple, they were slowing down iPhones intentionally. They were slowing down the clock speeds because the batteries were wearing out. And instead of fixing the batteries or putting better batteries in their new models, they were like, okay, we won't slow the phone down. It'll wear down faster, but we'll just sell you a $200 battery case that has like 1,000 or 2,000 milliamp.
Yeah.
So they literally accepted that they have a problem, and instead of fixing it generationally, they were
Charge
like
you more for it.
They were like, hey, you can just pay
Yeah.
$200 for our fix. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of... Again, it's just... I don't even know why I really change in the end. I think I just get bored.
I guess so.
I've
yeah.
had so many different phones. Like, I had a Pixel. I had the first Pixel when it came out. I've had about 2 or 3 Galaxies now. And maybe about 3 or 4 iPhones. Because I change them pretty much every year.
Yeah.
Because I just get bored of it. And it's the thing I use most in my life. And I like to keep that interesting, I guess.
I try to show you custom launches and shit, be like, nah.
Well, because I've tried using custom launches
Yeah.
before, and I can just never get it to what I want. And
spend
what I
time on
want ultimately is iOS. And I hate to say it, but it is like it's just
Download
like
the iOS launcher, dude. It totally
yeah.
works 100%.
Yeah, not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the experience, I suppose. And look,
guess.
if you ask me again next year, if there's this cool new Android phone that comes out, I might buy it, dude. Like I'm kind of I'm bi when it comes to phones, you know.
Yeah.
I'll go between Apple and Android, and people are like, dude, why don't you just pick one? It's like, because why not, dude? Who
So
cares?
what would there be? Could Samsung do anything on like the S11 or S12 that would sway your decision? What feature would it be?
It would honestly only be a UI change. That's
You
it.
can do that yourself, though.
Like, but
you
if,
can do that
I
yourself.
shouldn't have to do it myself. Android looks surgical is the word that's coming to my head. Like it looks like it is exactly what it is. You scroll down a
Okay.
menu and there is nothing that looks nice. It is a white background or a black background if you have the dark theme, and there is text.
I regret to inform you that yes, Android does exist in a corporeal form and is not a
Yeah,
quantum
I
metaphysical
can't
layer
really explain.
of uncertainty and changes its look every now and then.
I can't really explain what I mean. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I can't
Okay.
explain it properly. But all I'll say is that I'll keep everyone updated
Alrighty.
when I get the next phone. You know, iPhone 12 is going to be It's going to go back to being square again.
Hey,
now.
Jordy, I want you to name me every current
Rectangle.
iPhone. Like the current lineup of active iPhones. You have the 11, the 11 Pro. What are the other ones?
None.
No. SE. What's the other one? What's the other one called, Jordy?
S.
What's the other iPhone aside from the 11, 11 Pro, and SE? There are 4.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the 10, but the 10 what?
Oh, the 10X or whatever.
Nope.
10R.
Yeah, 10R.
Yeah.
What a fucking forgettable
What was
phone.
the difference with that one?
I forgot that phone. Literally, the only thing I've ever heard of that phone is when it came out, and then nothing until now. I looked at the website and I was like, "Oh right, they have the 10R. What
does
the
it do
fuck is the
differently?
10? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it might be smaller or something.
Why would you want that? The 10 was already... 10 was the smallest phone I had in a long time. It's quite small, that phone.
Sounds like you ate it. It's the smallest phone I've had in a while.
Yeah, it wasn't very filling compared to the
Yeah.
Galaxy S4.
I want to quickly say what it would take for me to switch to an iPhone.
Okay.
I
Have we
use
got enough time on this podcast? I
It's not
imagine
like
this is going to be a long list.
Hey, fuck you, dude. I use my phone in a very strange way. Like
I feel like it would be impossible.
maybe
Me
I've
too.
considered it, but I have the Note 10. I use the pen a lot for drawing and like doing stuff if I want to write something down. Recently, I've been like
Buy
designing.
the, what is it, like $800 Apple pen, dude?
That does it work with iPhone?
I don't know. I didn't
Okay.
think of that.
Hey Google, does the Apple Pencil work with iPhones?
Mark this.
Does not work on any iPhone.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Cut that out.
Why?
Because my dad's pissed off with us
Why?
for always having Google in it, because now he has an Android phone.
Google's
So
in his car.
in his
wow.
car always.
Did he have an iPhone previously?
Yes, he did. He
Why did he switch?
Because he had the opposite problem. He didn't think that he was getting enough from his iPhone, so he went to he got the, what is it, A70 something?
Yeah,
Samsung
A75.
So kind of like their mid tier one or something. Or
Yeah. So
and he really loves it. So there you go.
Okay, yeah. So what I use the pen, right? Drawing scheme out. I've been doing mechanical stuff, so I need to draw like motors and shit. But you can get a stylus, whatever. I'll X that off. That's just kind of a quality of life thing or an extra thing. What I do is manage. Haha, funny poop.
I nearly fucking said it. I'm like, I'm
I
not that
did it
childish.
before
I'm
you.
not gonna fucking say it.
Speaking of iPhone chargers, there's a bunch hanging on the wall
Look
over
at
here.
that. See, I told you.
Well, there's a
that's some.
cables actually. Do you know what irks me? I'm going to derail myself here.
Oh yeah.
It irks me when people call power bricks chargers. Because what is the difference between a power brick and a power supply, Jordy?
The amount of watts.
No. A charger charges a battery. The charger is inside of your phone. The charger is what controls the voltage and makes sure you don't blow up your battery.
I mean, I think it just differentiates it when you say, pass me the cable.
The thing that you plug into your wall is a DC power supply, Jordy. It only outputs No, there's a big difference. Because charger, like, I don't know. I'm weird.
I think that might be a you problem.
Okay, so I manage servers a lot. I have servers in Sydney in my house and all that. And to connect to my servers, I need to use something called a private key.
Yeah.
And a private key, you can store it in your device, but that's a really fucking bad idea. And iPhones don't, I think, support just general file management. You can do documents and
Yeah.
images now. Like, they just added that. You can, like, share documents and email them, but you can't just have private keys. And instead of that, I store my private key on a USB called a YubiKey. And YubiKeys, I don't think, work with iPhones.
That's a good point. I never thought of that.
They don't work with iPhones for SSH specifically in private keys. You can use a YubiKey to authenticate an iPhone.
Okay.
They just added that recently, and you can actually get a YubiKey. Actually, I think it's only with the Lightning port. Actually,
Right.
Hey Google, does YubiKey work on iPhone? Okay. Any Lightning enabled? Okay, for passing OTP, so one-time codes and all that. So I wouldn't be able to use my YubiKey to connect to any of my servers.
Gotcha.
And I often transfer files to and from my servers using SMB. And I'm pretty sure you can use SMB on iPhone, but you can't do general file management.
Yeah, that
So
has
that's
always been
the
a
one
problem,
thing.
isn't it?
And there's no SD cards. I have like a backup of the entirety of Wikipedia on one of my SD cards for no reason in
Of course you do.
particular. But expandable storage, if I want to expand the storage in this iPhone, can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
What's up with that, bro?
I don't know, dude. I mean, that being said, I guess I don't use my phone to its full potential in that sense. But like,
Yeah.
if you buy, I usually buy the biggest hard drive, the one with the biggest hard drive,
Yeah, hard drive.
or the second biggest SSD, or the second biggest one, which is usually like 100 and something, right?
Yeah.
And I'd never come close to using that much. Like 64, I'll admit, I use more than that.
That's what's weird on the iPhone, right? Is that what are you going to use the storage for on an iPhone other than recording videos and images?
Well, that's exactly the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I can use it more on here because I can download whatever the fuck I want, essentially, but I can't do that on my iPhone.
Let me download 128 gigs of PDF files.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a very important businessman. I keep all my files on my iPhone.
That's a lot of PDFs.
One of the things is that's good with iPhones is that they're incredibly secure.
Yeah,
Apple has the
yeah.
best security of any company, in my opinion. Like, we talked about this previously about the FBI trying to get them to make a hack and all that, and it didn't work. But another thing, right? So USB-C is very important to me.
Yeah.
It is like my favorite port, and I have officially more USB-C cables than I do micro USB.
Wow,
Which
that's fucking
may sound
impressive.
weird, but I have a little box, like a little chest of cables, and I think about 80% of those USB-C.
Wow.
And I'm happy about that because I like USB-C. Like, the audio interface we're using right now uses USB-C, and that's like an obscure piece of tech that just happens to use it. USB-C, I think, now is like officially mainstream.
I think you're right, yeah.
Phones use it, everything. Like, even little speakers. I think the new Google Homes or something like that, maybe you'll use it and all that. But
They were already USB-C. Mine's USB-C.
oh yeah, that's
My Google Wi-Fi is USB-C as well.
yeah. See, like, USB-C is everywhere, and I have like flash drives on my keychain that use USB-C, and I often do need to transfer files to and from my phone. Like, if I'm fixing my computer or something, I need an like BIOS update or something, and my computer's off and it's fucking broken. I'll download the BIOS update on my phone, transfer it to USB via USB-C, and then plug it in my computer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a good thing to have, sure.
the best thing about Android, in my opinion, is that it can do so much of what a computer can.
Yeah.
And iPhone, well, Apple, they're moving towards that. Like, this new thing about Apple ARM Silicon and all that, that means that the difference between Mac software and iOS software is shrinking exponentially. Like, there may be a future where, like, Twitter can just run on everything. I mean, it already kind of can, but, like, there may be a future where the line between Mac apps and iOS apps is just zero. Like, they can just run anywhere.
Yeah.
They
I
adapt.
mean, fingers crossed, right? Because that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you'd be able to do that. I don't know. I reckon they'll lose their level of security if they add all the things that you just said.
That's
and that's
what I was
almost
thinking,
why
yeah.
they haven't done it yet.
If
I
you
would
add
say.
like a file manager that's, you can just kind of browse files and all that, that's kind of bad security point of view. And
Yeah.
apps being able to arbitrarily run code that's, target at different platforms, that's kind of a bad idea. Networking and all that, bad idea. It's a bit of a trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think
It's
the only
odd.
reason that I am not in the same boat as you is because I don't use my computer in that way. That if I did, I would never go to Apple for the
You mean
exact same.
phone?
Well, like, because
Yeah.
I don't use my PC and my phone the same way you do.
Okay.
And I think that's exactly, most people aren't looking to use their phone that way, I would say.
I guess, yeah. Even just the file browsing thing, that's a
Yeah,
huge thing. A lot of
that's-
people download files in their phones.
Yeah, that is an annoying part.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they finally added that on iPhone.
And
And,
that's-
it is so basic. And it
that's-
is also, you have to enable it.
Yeah.
You can't just, it's not just there.
You can't do too much with it. Like, you
Yeah.
can do barely anything
It's
with it.
pretty, it's a secure, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's kind of fenced off
Yeah.
when you're using an iPhone.
Walled garden, as it's called.
Yeah. And like, you can do everything you can do very nicely and very
Yeah.
well, but if you're trying to do more than that, then you will need to go to an Android ultimately.
Bottom line, if they did change to USB-C, that would go a long way. And add widgets, because widgets are very important for me. I need
the
widgets
next
for shit.
iPhone is expected to have USB-C.
Expected to have no ports, isn't it?
That's the one after it. The one after
Okay.
it is supposed to have no ports.
Even
at
then,
all.
that's fucking... We talked about this on a
Yeah.
podcast. That's just... I don't know. There's something about that.
But they are thinking of, like, apparently the leaks are there's a USB-C slot on the new one. So, and to be honest, if it comes out that it doesn't have that, I might be swayed in another direction
Yeah.
again, because I fucking hate how long it takes to charge those things. It takes so
Yeah.
goddamn long.
That's
I've
one
become
thing about
way too accustomed to fast charging.
the actual pins on the lightning connector are very small and you can't support that much current. And it's up to Apple to actually adopt the USB power delivery standard as well. Like, they can just add the port and basically it be a replacement for lightning and not support any charging, since the actual silicon in the charging circuitry has to support fast charging.
Yeah,
Like, you can't just dump current and voltage into it and expect it to charge faster.
yeah.
It can only source as much as it wants to. So
Yeah.
I want to live in a world where I just have USB fast charge connectors. I'm getting closer to that. Like, I bought adapters for my laptop to convert it to USB-C fast charge. So I literally just have USB-C in my room now.
That's
I just
pretty
have like
fucking
2 or
cool.
3 USB-C cables. Everything charges off them.
USB-C is pretty dope. And hey, I
Yeah.
mean, on the same line, which gives some credence to the iPhone thing, my iPad Pro uses USB-C.
That's what's fucking strange to
Yeah.
me. Like, really, it's an iOS device with a
Yeah.
USB-C port, and it's great. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
and it charges super quick, and
Yeah.
goddamn, does it look nice.
It's great. I like the camera package on the back. It's very nice.
It is a
aesthetic
nice
wise.
looking, and the new iPhone is expected to look exactly the same, but in a phone size.
That's gonna look like a Microsoft Surface device, because the new iPad looks like a Surface device. Like, it has that very square design language.
It does kind of, yeah.
Like, that's gonna be weird.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see.
I like the look of that. I can see it in my head, and it looks very nice.
like, and that's kind. I saw the leaks for it, and I'm like, oh god, I want that.
Do you know what would be great if it was made out of the same material, like brushed aluminum
It
or
is.
whatever?
It's expected to. It is going to be.
That's gonna be-
quite literally identical to the
That's
iPad.
gonna be beautiful. It's just gonna look
but
like,
like
a
this.
It's gonna look like a mini iPad Mini.
It will It would be the iPad Mini.
That's what I don't like about iPhones design-wise externally, is that they're glass, mostly glass
Yeah.
and all that, whereas I like the iPhone 4 and 5, I think, where they were doing that kind of aluminum. You said this before, they're going back to it,
Yeah.
but I would love for the iPhone just to look like an iPad Mini.
Yeah,
Just
I
entirely
hope
aluminum.
I mean, it's only leaks at this point,
Yeah.
but it is expected to look exactly like that. And that's when I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need me one of them.
Yeah. Realistically, I don't need to do all these complicated things with my phone, but I like the bottom line is that I have the choice to do these things.
Exactly, and if
Other
you
people
like
have the choice
to do it,
Yeah.
then you should do it that way. I mean,
Right.
there's so many other people out there who will buy one type of device or something because they're friends or whatever, but it's like, if you want to use it, use it. That's the message I'll leave everyone with, you
Yeah.
know? Like, at the moment, we're both, what are we doing? We're taking up guitar.
Yeah.
We're gonna be shredding like pros, you know? And we're not necessarily, big metal heads or anything, but it's just something fun to do. That's all I'll say, Like, just do something because you want to do it, not because other people think otherwise, or they might make fun of you for it, because you're dope as fuck, man.
That's just kind of general life advice, I think. Just
Exactly.
do what you want because you're a pirate.
Exactly. You are a pirate.
Okay. Goodbye,
All right.
pirates.
Bye-bye, everyone.